Welcome back, mother lovers, to a brand new episode of Last Call at McLaren's, the best damn How I Met Your Mother podcast on the internet. I'm your host, Josh, here with my best bud, John. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back doing some recording for the show, talk some How I Met Your Mother. And it's a great day to do it because today, folks, is the 17th anniversary of the debut of How I Met Your Mother. 17 years ago today, September 19th.
Today
is when it premiered. So I think it's a damn good time to come back.
Just to get things straight, you wanted us to go to the mall today?
Yes. But yeah, we're winding down on season 2. And we're going to be talking about the last couple of episodes here over the next, this episode and the next one. Starting off with episode 21, Something Borrowed. It's going to be a good time, John. It's going to be a good time.
Is it directed by Pamela Fryman?
Perhaps it is, sir.
And dude, I'm excited. Like I said, because we're recording 2 episodes together at the same time. I forgot how great the season finale was for season 2. Because this is usually where I don't watch season 1 usually. I start usually at like season 2-ish. So, yeah. Fuck Marshall and Lily's breakup. I want the wedding.
I don't blame you, man. Because it was rough. The stuff that happened in season 1 was rough. And they stick it out for the rest of this show because they were meant to be.
I mean, maybe.
I think they're meant to be. I do. Definitely not Scooter. Fucking Scooter. Bill.
I forgot Bill.
We'll get into that, folks. But yeah, so we are talking season 2, episode 21, Something Borrowed, which debuted May 7th of 2007, directed, as John already guessed, by Pamela Fryman, written by Greg Malins, who previously wrote the episode Swarley. And will go on to write 3 more episodes, including Jenkins, which is a good one. And was also a producer on the show. He worked as a producer and writer on several other shows, including Will and Grace, 2 Broke Girls, and Friends. So he's got a pretty extensive background. So the summary for both these episodes, I'll say this right now. I know we're doing them separately, but they're both very simplistic. I mean, I know there's not necessarily a lot going on in terms of storyline. It's a singular story, realistically.
Yeah.
But these these summaries are really simple for both of them. So this one is Marshall and Lily are about to get married, but the wedding is becoming one disaster after another. That's it. Pretty simple.
Wow. Yeah.
They didn't want to give anything away. Yep, a Bart Simpson. Dope. I know.
Dope. That's Homer.
I know. All right. So the episode opens with Lily and Robin getting things ready at the Van Smoot house for the wedding. Now, you guys may remember, those of you who have watched the show may remember the name Van Smoot. Any clue here, people? It's the captain's last name. I don't know if we ever actually find out if this is his joint or not.
I don't know. That's a good point.
Because they've used that last name a few different times in this show. And I'm never sure if it's just different members of the family or if it's all the captain. I have no idea. But I think I would like to imagine that it's all the captain because then it would tie him into their lives so much more.
I was going to say, I could see it being the captain. Yeah. I mean, he owns a lot of stuff. So, nice little place like that. I wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, absolutely. And, hey, maybe he sticks some pineapples around there. I don't know.
As long as he's not putting it on pizza.
That's true. Probably just lost half our viewership, just saying.
Great, now we got 1 viewer.
Yep. So Lily says to Robin that it looks exactly as she planned, but future Ted, he has something to say about that. So we flash back 8 months. The gang is at the bar, and Lily is talking about what she wants to do for the wedding. And it's nothing like what we saw here at the beginning. She wanted a small outdoor wedding, no more than 25 people, just friends and family with an acoustic guitar playing. And Barney even says he would officiate this wedding for them. Then we flash to 6 months before the wedding. Their guest list has grown to triple digits, thanks to Lily's mom. Then 5 months before the wedding, Lily says it'll no longer be outdoors because Marshall's dad is afraid of getting mugged if they do it outside. Now, I want to take a quick pause here because I don't know if you noticed, as you watch both these episodes, none of Marshall's family is there.
Yeah, I thought about that. And like, I was like, you don't ever see his dad or his mom?
Nobody. Yeah. Like we see a couple of, like, we see like Lily's uncle, we see her grandma who we've seen before.
Yep.
But we never see any of Marshall's family, brothers, parents, nobody.
I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah. And I mean, them pointing out the fact that it's because of Marshall's dad that they have to have it indoors and we don't even see them. It's because it's not like we've never seen them. They've been on the show.
Yeah.
So like they've already introduced these people, but I don't have any idea why they just weren't there.
Maybe they couldn't get anybody for a recording.
Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. And it kind of it stood out and was very awkward seeming to me. I don't know. But what it is, I suppose.
I was going to say, I thought about it while I was watching it, where I was like, because you see grandma again.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. But at the same time, you don't see Lily's dad at the wedding either.
Well, we learn later on that she didn't invite him.
That is true.
Yeah.
But you think with her mom inviting people like Scooter, that she might have at least thrown her dad an invite?
Yeah, I mean, you know her dad, like.
yeah. Well,
I don't know, but it's just I don't know, and like once I realized the Marshall's family thing, I couldn't stop thinking about it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, after the first episode, after this episode, when I got into the reception episode, I'm like, where the hell are they? And I kept looking for them. Never.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Do you remember when in Scrubs, Turk and Carla get married and Cox and Jordan miss the whole thing? Mm-hmm. And then when they finally show up, they show up to the reception and Jordan's like, as long as you keep it vague and say something like it was a beautiful ceremony, nobody will ever know.
Yeah.
And Cox is like, it was a beautiful ceremony. And Carla's like, really? Today you're going to fuck with me? And he's like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
I wonder if like maybe Marshall's parents thought to do the same thing.
Maybe they thought it was like the following weekend.
Maybe. How embarrassing would that be?
That would be.
You're like, oh, it was funny. That day? Shit. Oh man. Well, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
We got you a bread maker.
We got you a toaster. That's our 5th toaster today. So 3 months before the wedding, the acoustic guitar player has dropped out and is now going to be a harpist.
Yeah, but that's weird, though, because they talk about an acoustic... Sorry. They talk about an acoustic guitar player. What happened to the fucking band they booked?
Yeah, they never do have a band.
No.
Yeah, no.
And that was the whole point of the episode, like 2-3 episodes ago. They sneak into the prom so that they can book the band.
Yeah. I remember, but if you notice during the reception, they definitely have a DJ.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Thanks to Ted Mosby, probably.
Ted Mosby.
But yeah, no band at all. But now they have a harp player. Barney says that he would love to cross harp player off his list, and Marshall asks him how long this list is. Well, Barney does not reveal that, and when. Well, no. Hold on.
Go ahead.
And when Lily says the harpist is also pregnant, Barney's excited to cross that off his list too.
Well, I love that. Like when Marshall asked him how long the list is, he's like, "I don't know how long the list is. I'm not the kind of guy to chastise that." And I'm like, or however he says it, it's not chastise, but Yeah, essentially, he's not counting pages, and I'm like, pages? Like, damn.
Yeah. But it's like, maybe he doesn't want to reveal that list, but he definitely reveals his number later on in this show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
so he's not afraid of that, at least. And we know he's got like a map of the countries or whatever that he's going through as well.
At some point he gets the girl from like the Romania,
something like that. But yeah, like he's going through a whole map. But I want to see this list. I want to know how extensive this. I wonder really if
the list is also broke down that way. Maybe. Where it's like, like he's got like continents and like different professions.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Maybe. I mean, it's got to be a lot. I mean,
do you have a list?
I don't.
No?
I don't. No.
I'm shocked.
I'll be honest. I don't get enough. I don't get enough played for me to have a list. And that's okay. That's probably good, John.
I'm learning.
So after the opening, that was all like the opening before the credits, the opening credits. After the opening theme and everything, we are back at the wedding venue. It's an hour and 42 minutes before the wedding, and the harp player comes in with her harp, and she is very pregnant. Not just pregnant, but like ready to pop at any moment, kind of.
Oh yeah, like she's fucking like past due.
Yeah. She reveals that she was due last Tuesday, not this Tuesday. She's ready to go. Robin,
I'm sure.
Yeah, Robin is freaking out. She thinks she's going to have this baby during the wedding and everything, but Lily is suspiciously calm about all of it.
Listen, I love that Lily tries to hold her shit together for as long as she can.
Yeah,
because that is how I would expect Lily to be. It's okay. It's okay. And then finally, it's the one little thing, and she's like, God damn it, nothing's fucking going right.
Yeah. She lets it bottle up until it just pops, just like that pregnant lady's about to. Then we head over to the wedding bar, and the bartender is there. He's setting up. Barney tries to order a drink, but is denied. This guy's kind of a douche, by the way.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, there's a nice way to say the bar's not open yet, and then there's this guy.
And I'm going to also say this. He's like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to accept tips." Bullshit.
Right?
I've been to many weddings that have had bars, and I've never seen one where the bartender is not allowed to accept tips.
Right.
Ever. So I think he's just being a dick. I really think that's all it is.
He must make a lot of money if he's not allowed to accept tips.
And if that's the case, well, then they're overpaying him. Just saying.
You heard it from Josh, people. Overpaid bartender.
Overpaid bartender. Barney then goes to Lily's room, tells them how he struck out with this harp player. I don't remember what the line was that he tried.
Want to
pluck. That's what it was. Yeah. Did not work for him. And then he asks about some guy named Bill. And so we flash back to the wedding bar right after Barney's interaction with the bartender, and a random guy comes up to him asking him where the part in the wedding that people can object to will be. Barney tells him that that's not really done anymore. But if this is like your first time kind of watching through this show, and you have a keen eye and you've been paying attention, you should recognize who this is.
Yeah,
because he has been on the show before. Hair. Yes, but it's the same actor. He's been on the show, I think twice, I believe. Already. And this is none other than Lily's ex-boyfriend, Scooter.
Scooter!
And it is revealed to be that case as Lily asks if he looks like he tried to be an umpire but failed, which I thought was a great reference to pull back from. Because they talk about this in the prom episode.
Yep.
Yeah, where Scooter's dream of being an umpire. So I love that we then learn that he failed at that.
But I love Barney's response to the question.
Yeah.
You know what? He did look like that.
He did.
Like, that would be like maybe like, hey, Josh, did you see that guy that looks like he could be homeless, but like maybe he's got money stored in an offshore account? You're like, I did see that guy. Like,
yes, it's very specific. Barney then offers to go get Lily a glass of wine, which I thought was interesting because he literally just struck out at the bar with this bartender guy, and yet he's willing to try again, not knowing what superpower, as he calls it later on, he's about to get.
Yeah.
But so he heads off, and we learn that Marshall is about to get his hair cut by Lily's cousin, but Lily is worried that she's gonna cut it too short.
Yeah, and I love Barney's line to this though too. Mm-hmm. Same. I couldn't sleep.
He's such a sarcastic dick, and I love it. Though I might respond the same way. Depends on the mood I'm in. So then, after Barney leaves, Scooter shows up proclaiming his love for Lily, saying he wants her back. Because you know what, John? He's on her hook.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing shades of that right here, that he is still firmly attached to that hook.
Yeah, even though she has no feelings towards him.
Yeah. He's like a cute little teacup pig.
Yeah, kind of.
So at the bar, Barney asks the douchey bartender for a glass of wine, gets shot down again. That is, until he mentions that it's for the bride. And this guy's like bending over backwards to do whatever the fuck Barney asks him, including running to the store for almonds. And
which I thought was kind of dumb. Like, well, I guess I could run down to the corner store. Oh, okay. Then do it.
Yeah, I mean, I get why. I get Barney doing it because he wanted to see what else he could get.
Oh, yeah.
And then the dude offered, and he's like, yeah, go do that. Like, get the hell out of here, bro. And after he does leave, Barney steps behind the bar and makes himself a drink.
Well, yeah, because he never finishes Barney's drink. He literally
true.
Pours Lily's glass of wine and then oh yeah, I'll go get those. Bam.
Yeah, and completely does not make the scotch and soda. I think that's what it was that he was drinking.
Something like that.
So then we go back to the room. Scooter is still there, and he's about to read her the lyrics from November Rain. I thought that was an amazing little reference. It's like, I want to read you this poem called November Rain from W. Axl Rose.
Yeah, I love that he actually calls him that too, by W. Axl Rose. And I'm like, what the fuck? I forgot about that entire line. It was like, whatever.
I loved it. Because, I mean, you know me, I was a big fan of that song back in the day. So, I love that it popped. I had forgotten about it. Totally. And so it was great just having that pop back up. Then right before he starts reading, Brad walks in saying Barney told him that she wanted him to bounce some guy named Scooter. Scooter looks at him and then just takes off.
Dude, he runs.
Yeah, he does. And he's like, hey, what's up with Bill?
Yeah.
And she's like, that was Scooter. He's like, I got this. And he just takes off after him. And there's a whole thing with Brad, which is hilarious throughout this episode. Many things.
I think it's the second part when he comes in that does it for me.
Yeah.
When he comes in and he's in Marshall's part of the area.
Without the shirt?
Without the shirt. He's just like, you think you put a shirt back on? Nah, I'll be okay.
Nah. Yeah.
That's just total fucking macho right there. I'm good.
He's too funny. The stuff that they do with him throughout this show, throughout the whole series, really is really funny. I think that he should do more comedy, personally.
He really should. I think the thing that's really funny is this is still early enough that he hasn't hit his role as LC yet.
Yeah, he wasn't on True Blood yet.
And then from there, because he goes through a body transformation between the point where he's at this point in the show to LC, and then once he does LC, he becomes the jacked up Joe Manganiello we all know.
Yeah,
and then he comes back to the show.
He comes back later on.
Frog Lake.
Frog Lake and everything, and he's got that whole look, the beard, the long hair, the buffness. Like, yeah, 100% completely changed. Yeah,
he's one of those actors that like there's not many people like okay, prime example is like I would love to see him do a comedy with the guy who plays Pimento on 9-9.
Oh my god, he's hilarious. Yeah,
I think the two of them, because they've got that similar look, I think they'd be hilarious together.
Yeah. They could be like brothers. It could be just like this weird, funny brother comic. Dude, it writes itself. It needs to be made. Come on, guys. I might tweet that later. I'm just saying. Keep an eye out for that, folks. We'll see how that goes.
Tag me in that tweet so I get my fucking my credit.
Woo woo. So as the guests are kind of filing in, Barney spots a cutie and asks her for her number. Because he wants to, test some stuff out, But when she says no, he says, it's for the bride. And it works. She's like, let me get a pen. And she gets right up and heads out. Then we get 40 minutes until the wedding. Lily is in her dress now, trying not to cry. And to prevent that from happening, Robin blurts out that she has hairy nipples, even though she doesn't.
I mean, it distracted Lily.
I have hairy nipples. Oh man, that's you wouldn't expect that, but I mean, I guess maybe from Robin you kind of do. I don't know. Then Brad comes back in. This is the first time he comes back. Tells Lily that he accidentally tackled the photographer in his chase for Scooter, but he's got this sweet ass camera phone, John. Yeah, he does.
It looks like early edition BlackBerry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it was like a BlackBerry, which means, honestly, the pictures aren't going to be that good. Like, come on, man.
I mean, if you remember the 2006, 2007 photos on a phone, like, you thought you were getting good photos, but, I mean, they were fucking pixelated, and they were...
I don't even think the first iPhone had come out, because I think, because it came out that same year, but I don't think it came out till later in the year. So like the first iPhone hadn't even come out yet, and so like camera phones were not very good.
No, not at all.
And like BlackBerries, like come on, folks, let's give it a times. So Robin again freaking out, but Lily still she's calm, man. Nothing's bothering her. And then everything else starts to go wrong. The flowers are going to be late. They find her veil in the parking lot, and it's filthy. The harp player's water breaks. Then Robin tells Lily that she forgot her bridal panties. Lily starts off calm here, but then she herself starts listing everything that's wrong, and she just starts freaking out. She loses it. Just completely loses control of everything.
It's understandable, but here's my big question, okay? Because you've done the Mary thing.
Yeah.
How the fuck do the flowers show up late?
Dude, I don't know, because I don't know if there was just a problem with the florist, but I sure as hell wouldn't be paying if that's what's happening.
I was going to say, could you imagine that today with like Yelp and all like the review things? Yeah. That would be horrible.
Oh, yeah. Like, no freaking way. But I also wouldn't be just letting my parents just change everything about the wedding, and that's what Lily did. She let, like, they wanted an acoustic guitar, but they're like, oh, my dad has a friend whose daughter is a harp player. And it's like, well, good for them, but I don't want a harp player at my wedding. Like,
unless it's free. I mean, I might bend if it's free.
It's completely free, maybe. Same with the venue. Like, sorry, Marshall's dad, we'll set you up in a tent and you can just rock out in there. But
first off, it's Van Smoot, though. You don't fucking pass on Van Smoot.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like they were going to have it outside, right? But they needed to do it inside because of Marshall's. And then they got Van Smoot because of somehow. And it's like, I don't know. It just seems like...
Well, no, they had Van Smoot the whole time.
No, I understand that, but it's like you go from outdoor to be like, let's try and book the probably most expensive place we can find.
Oh, yeah.
See, you know what I mean? It just seems crazy. Like, I'd be like, if you guys need it inside, then you're going to pay for it.
Well, that's the thing I don't understand. So you've got a place like Van Smoot, and you were going to marry outside anyway?
I'm wondering if she had wanted the outside before they booked it.
But, I mean, what I don't understand is it private property? Because couldn't you just, I mean, I guess you couldn't just show up and have a party there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you couldn't just do that, yeah.
That's what...
I get what you're saying, yeah.
like, I'm sorry, I'm not paying you guys like $10,000 to show up and have a small party outside.
No, I don't think they were going to have the outside wedding outside the Van Smoot. I don't think that when she wanted the outside, I don't think it was even part of it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and see and figure out what the time frame was from when they booked it, because I believe when she was saying I want an outdoor wedding when they were during that scene, it was 8 months before the wedding. So I'd have to go back and see where the Van Smoot episode falls in with where the wedding is now in order to figure all that out. Because then I think it was 6 months or five or 6 months before the wedding when she said that they had to do it inside. Yeah. So
fair.
So, but yeah, it's something to look into. It's very possible it's continuity error. You know what I mean?
I mean, they make small ones here and there. It's nothing major. Yeah. Maybe we're just overthinking it.
That's all. I mean, that's definitely possible. So, because Lily's freaking out and everything, Robin suggests going outside to feel a little bit better. And Lily's like, how's that going to make me feel better? And she pulls out a pack of cigarettes.
Pack of cigs.
That's what Lily does when she gets super stressed. We then finally switch over to the guys. We had not seen them.
Nope.
The only person we'd seen was Barney. We had not seen Ted or Marshall on this day yet. And now we finally switch over there. Marshall, he comes in to the room all panicky. He's wearing like a towel on his head. He's like, oh, no, 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 no. And Ted asks him what's wrong. And Marshall reveals that Lily's cousin gave him frosted tips. Yeah. I mean, there's worse things that could happen. As we see,
mean, they didn't look horrible.
I mean, they didn't look great, but yeah, they didn't look. Again, there's worse things, you know. Much. Run down to the store and get like some of that washable hair, paint, stuff, that they do for Halloween, and just like paint his hair brown or whatever.
I mean, I don't understand why they freaked out so much when. Instead of getting the hair paint, why not just run down and get a quick dye kit and dye his hair really quick?
Well, that takes longer.
I mean,
I'm just saying because there wasn't a lot of time left. You know what I mean? I think there was like 40 minutes, half an hour ish.
Listen, I'm just saying, you do what you got to do.
Why Marshall does what he did, what he has.
Why didn't they just snip the tips of his hair?
Well, I mean, they hadn't gotten to that point. Like, Marshall was still freaking out, and they were talking through it. And then, as we see, I have it actually written. 17 minutes before the wedding is when this had the heart. We see the harp player having contractions. Then they flip over to Marshall, and he's freaking out about his hair. Then we see the haircut and everything go down. We find out how it happened. She says, yeah, I can give you some cool guy tips. He thinks she's talking about advice. It's like, I don't think I need advice, but yeah, lay it on me. And then, because like they keep jumping around with this section. Barney says he'll take care of it because he has this new superpower. He leaves. He goes out to where the guests are.
Yeah, he has some tension in his shoulders.
Yeah. He's like, the bride needs you to massage my shoulders, and what was 2? And he just completely forgets why he went out there, which I thought was hilarious. And then we go back. Ted's trying to comfort Marshall, but Marshall freaks out and grabs the shaver, which I don't know why it's just sitting there, and just shaves a strip right down the center of his head. And oh man, it is not good, man.
It's pretty bad.
It is. And then he freaks out and starts blaming Ted for letting him do it. And I love Ted's reaction throughout this whole thing because like he can't stop like giggling about it.
I mean,
They're like, even when Marshall's like yelling at him and blaming him, he's got a big smile on. And I'm curious if that's what Ted was supposed to be like, or if that was Josh Radnor not being able to hold it in.
Good question.
Because like, I don't know if I could hold it in. Because I'm pretty sure he actually shaved his head.
Yeah, but you know what's really funny about it, though, is that, and again, people, if you're listening to this and you don't know that we do spoilers, spoiler alert, there's a future episode where it's the thank you note and giving the gift.
Yeah.
And they flash back to Marshall writing a thank you note to Ted for his present from the wedding, and he's regrowing the small strip of hair. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, they fucking added that in there, man.
Yeah, those are the little things that make this show just amazing. You know, that detail, that level of detail in the continuity that they're like, you know, 3, 4, how do you know how many seasons later it was? They're like, okay, we're gonna, you know, show him writing notes, and we have to make sure he has that hair, you know, because that's where it was, and they did it. I love that whenever they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Ted then goes out to try to find a solution, and he runs into, I think it's Lily's uncle. I don't remember what his name was. He's got an obvious toupee on. You can tell. And Ted, you know, he subtly tries to get it from him to convince him to give it up, to admit to having one in the first place. But the guy refuses to admit that he's wearing a toupee. And I love Barney just walks up, snatches it off his head. He's like, it's for the bride, and just walks off. I'm just like, that's what Ted should have just done. He should have been like, sorry, I need this for the bride. Boom. Out the door. I mean,
the fact that like he nicely tried it the way he did, I respect it. But like,
yeah, that guy was not giving him an inch.
No,
man. Not even a little bit. So Marshall puts the toupee on, and it looks ridiculous,
horrible.
And he tries to pretend like it looks okay, but eventually he's like, no, this thing is terrible.
Horrendous.
And then we get John's favorite Brad moment.
He walks in without this shirt.
Yep.
He's like,
and this he reveals he tackled the caterer. And that's why he doesn't have a shirt on anymore. So now he's tackled the photographer and the caterer.
All because of Scooter, though.
All because of Scooter. Thanks, Lily's mom.
Right?
Yeah, I blame her.
This is where Brad reveals to Marshall that Scooter is there.
Yeah.
And Marshall's like, what? And so they decide to take a walk outside just to calm the nerves.
Yeah. And on this walk, they run into none other than Lily and Robin.
Yeah.
Marshall and Lily tell each other about all the problems that they've been having. And then Ted makes a rather great suggestion here. You know, he has those once in a while. And he suggests just get married right here. Right now, you know, it'd be much more like what they wanted in the first place. It's outdoors. It's a small group. It's just their friends and family. Barney can officiate, and they like the idea. Lily sees a gardener, and she runs over and asks him to borrow his hat. And I love this because they're like, hat. We thought of authentic Native American headdress before we thought of hat.
Yeah, because they were thinking of ways to cover the spot. Unless you have one in your car, stop recommending authentic Native American headdress.
Yeah. But yeah, hat. Hat would have been... If he didn't even... If he just hadn't freaked out and shaved his head, maybe they'd have come up with a hat. I don't know. It looked pretty good. And the hat is originally shown in the previous episode. Like they showed that and them at the wedding, and he's wearing a hat, and future Ted's like, you know, I'll explain that later or something like that.
Yeah.
And now we know why Marshall's wearing a hat at their wedding.
Well, it's funny because there was stuff I noticed anyway about the whole wedding parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, did you notice that all the bridesmaids were wearing lilac, which is purple?
Purple, yep. I think we saw them last episode as well.
Yeah.
And mentioned that. But yeah, like throughout the back half of this episode and the stuff in the next episode, Robin's wearing a purple dress, and we see what we for people who know, we know what happens next episode. Like, we see it all.
We know.
And so that purple, it's there for a reason. I don't know who the costume person was on this show, but they did a fantastic job with all these colors. Whether they did it on purpose or not, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that it wasn't at least somewhat on purpose. You know what I mean?
I would have to agree.
Yeah. So Barney officiates the wedding, and he gets really emotional here. Something you don't usually see from Barney. It's a beautiful ceremony. Then the gardener starts playing the acoustic guitar. He just had a guitar with him, apparently. Starts playing and made it like this perfect moment for Marshall and Lily. It's the wedding that they wanted,
Yeah.
And I thought it was great. It's one of my favorite TV weddings. Is this portion of it? Just because how intimate and beautiful it winds up being. They say their vows from their heart because they had forgotten their vows and everything. It's funny because I remember there's a much later episode where it's revealed that Marshall got his vows off the internet, the ones that he actually had with him. So it was, I guess it's nice that he had to just do it from the heart, because otherwise it would have been something random. I think we do eventually see the vows because we don't see them at the quote unquote fake wedding. Like, they skip over that.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, they actually in a later episode show that scene.
I think so. I know they at least referenced it a couple times.
So we get to see his, internet vows, which is, I think, pretty funny. Then Robin finds the bridal panties in her purse. And I don't know if you noticed this, John, but they're huge.
I mean, they were definitely decent sized.
Like, I don't think they would have fit Lily. I'm just putting that out there. They were big.
Just get a cheetah?
Yeah, like huge panties. And they did say property. You can see that it said property.
Yeah,
which I thought was hilarious. Then they head back inside for the other wedding, which takes place over the next episode. Well, it kind of takes place in between because when we get into the next episode, it's the reception. And then the episode ends with Lily and Marshall in a bathroom about to have sex, and Ted, who's in one of the stalls, asks them not to.
Yeah, I love that. Would you rather have hotel sex or bathroom sex? Bathroom sex. Please don't.
Obviously, very reminiscent of their first time when they were in college and Ted was on the bottom bunk.
Top bunk.
Was it top bunk? Oh, yeah, top bunk. Yeah.
It's physics. If the bottom bunk, the top bunk moves too.
You want to do it again? Please don't.
Please don't.
I love that. So that was the episode, season 2, episode 21, Something Borrowed. John, what are your thoughts? Final thoughts on the episode?
Man, I always love this episode because I love the wedding. Like, I love everything that goes down, all the little shenanigans, all the misfires. I love Marshall fucking buzzing his head.
Yeah.
And then good. I like you.
Obviously, you love Brad.
I mean, I think Joe Manganiello is just a phenomenal actor, and I don't think there's anything that man does that isn't ever funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's hilarious.
Great. He is. Like I said, he needs to do more comedy. Yeah, I love this episode. I'm so happy that we finally got to it and are able to talk to it. And I'll be excited to talk about this season finale when we get to it. But before any of that, folks, it is that time. It is time for Barney's blog.
Suit up, bitches.
That's right. All right. So this edition of Barney's blog is called It's for the Bride's Scavenger Hunt. Written Tuesday. I like
it already.
Yes. Written Tuesday, May 8th of 2007. Says, weddings, like death and taxes, it is an unfortunate inevitability that some of your friends will foolishly throw away their youth and innocence and their freedom for an attempt to assimilate into societal evils that is holy matrimony. Sure, an open bar is always a treat, and bridesmaid hunting is like shooting fish in a barrel, but the monotony of weddings gets old real quick. Just because your friends have chosen a lifetime of suffering, why should we have to suffer for an entire day? At my friend Marshall and Lily's wedding, I stumbled upon an interesting phenomenon. When the bride needs something, you immediately get it. It got the old wheels spinning, and I came up with the ultimate wedding time passer. It's for the bride's scavenger hunt.
Oh, boy.
And then they added a map for this scavenger hunt, which I'm going to put up on the screen. Here's that. And then we're going to go through. It says that this map is a map of a typical wedding reception hall and a list of items the quote-unquote bride needs. All right, so we're going to start off with A, which is outside at the bench there. It says, your mission starts in the garden. Normally, it's the place to bag a hot ant or damaged bridesmaid out for a smoke, but not tonight, because the bride needs the gardener's hoe. B, continue to the kitchen where the bride needs whipped cream from the caterer. Why? I have no idea. I'm just the messenger. C, on your daughter's wedding day, you want nothing more than to make your little girl's dreams come true. And that's why your next stop is with the proud papa. The bride needs $20.
The bride needs $20.
D, bunny hop / electric slide / chicken dance over to the band. For some strange reason, the bride demands they play When a Man Loves a Woman. And who are we to judge? It's her day, after all. Apparently, Barney, a fan of When a Man Loves a Woman.
Would have never thought that one.
Yeah. E, in the lobby, the videographer reloads one of his cameras. The bride desperately needs one of them, and popping a few shots with the cheapo camera they've left at each table just won't do. Of course, the videographer will argue he's a professional. This is an expensive camera. He needs the bouquet toss for his reel, blah, blah, blah. Sir, the bride has spoken. Do you really want to spoil the happiest day of her life over a camera? I didn't think so. And F, or as on the map, it's the big X. Your mission ends in the coat room with the adorable coat check girl, which I think is hilarious because we never see a coat check in this episode, but it's obviously not in this episode. It's referencing back to the coat check girl that we've seen a few times, which I think is great. It says she's feeling vulnerable because she's stuck in a closet during this glorious celebration of love. Lucky for her, you're there to comfort her. The band is rocking When a Man Loves a Woman. You have a can of whipped cream, a private oasis, and a camera to document the entire experience. Plus, you have $20 in your pocket and 2 hoes. You, my friend, are a champion. And that is Barney's blog. That was a good one. I really enjoyed that one quite a bit.
I wonder if it annoys Barney then that Ted gets coat check girl and he doesn't.
It's a good question, sir. That is a good question. He never got the chance, did he? Nope. But so that folks is season 2 episode season 2 episode 21. Something borrowed. Almost got that confused there. John, you got anything left for the folks at home?
Spayed and neuter your pets.
There you go. Fair enough. Also, once again, happy anniversary to How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah!
All right. John, since you ain't got anything left, let them know where they can find you.
I mean, listen, if you haven't already heard the spiel 1,000 times, hop on over. Oh, wrong hand. Hop on over to here, Twitter. It's simply saying J1. Check out my Twitter. Check out my podcast, blog. I mean, if you want, you don't have to.
Do it.
But I mean, that's me in a nutshell. Josh,
help! You're in.
I'm in a nutshell. How did I get in this nutshell?
You can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR, as well as at Movieblog Merc. That's my handle for most of my things: Twitter, Instagram, all kinds of stuff, YouTube. It's just Merc with Movie Blog on Facebook if you want to find me there. But if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click that little bell, wherever the hell it is on the screen right now.
So if that's your handle, what's your motto?
What's my motto?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is my motto?
I don't know. What's the motto with you? Oh!
There it is, folks. You got your daily dad joke. Enjoy. Be sure to follow us at Last Call, at McLaren's, at Last Call HIMYM on Twitter, on Instagram. We have a Patreon. That's our Anchor feed as well. So be sure to follow us there. If you're listening on any of those podcast platforms like Anchor, you can leave us a voice message. We'd love to hear from you guys. And if you're on Apple or Spotify, you can, if you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it out on air. So be sure to do that. It helps us in the algorithm to boost us up in the rankings, so more people can listen to the podcast, and we keep on trucking along, folks. You know,
algorithms.
That's right, algorithm. Al Gore's rhythms. That's right. He likes to dance. But again, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Last Call HIMYM. I think that's all I got for him, John. What do you got for him?
Listen, people, you don't have to go home, but you can't listen here.
All right. Catch you next time.